Mr. Noel Gallagher, good morning.
Hi.
This is Jim-Jim Nobby, your old pals again.
Your old muckers.
How you doing?
We're sticking with the name. We're good. How are you?
I'm all right.
So you should be.
Why?
Because your album is brilliant.
Thank you very much.
Now, I presume you know it's good, but do you know how good it is?
You don't really find out until it comes out. You don't realise. Have we started this, by the way?
We've started, yes.
All right, we started.
Oh, yeah.
You don't really realise until you kind of start playing it live and what the reactions to the songs are. But yeah, I mean, I think it's good, or I wouldn't be putting it out. Obviously, I think that when you're going to make a record, you have to make sure it's at least equally as good as the one before it, which I think it is. And then if people are saying it's better than that, well, it's great, brilliant.
We've been listening to your new album on a little private stream here, which is nice. But there's a little bit where you can give feedback and you can rate a song. So we send feedback back. Do you get a little ping on your phone to say someone has reviewed your album?
I can just imagine you two sitting by a little stream with fishing rods, listening to like two little leprechauns listening to my album. That's an image that won't go away now for the rest of the day.
Be Gareth Nobby, that's another good one, isn't
It's
it?
a great Noel.
Oh, sure.
That Noel fella, he knows what he's at.
Riverman is a great opening to an old album there. He caught my attention straight away.
I never liked the other fella. What was his name? Liam, was it?
Liam, he didn't. He
No,
was holding him back.
Noel was always the great
Noel
fella.
was the talent.
Oh dear, that's probably ruined my entire afternoon. I have to go and lie down, I think.
No, really, just like the leprechauns were saying there, the Riverman, from the very get-go, you're just like, oh, we're in good hands here. This is...
Yeah. I mean, what can I say? I don't know. It's that was one of the last songs that I recorded for the record, and it came out so well. I was quite amazed because it started off as that song started off life as a different kind of thing altogether, and it kind of developed in the studio, and I had a bit of a eureka moment when I was recording it and completely changed the style of it at the last minute. And yeah, it's a great opening track, and it kind of introduces the dreaded saxophone early on.
Don't dread the saxophone. Respect the sax.
Yeah, well, I respect the sax, but other people might not.
I think for me, The Dying of the Light, which will be track 5 for everyone, unless you change things around. That's the song for me.
Yeah, thanks, man. That's one of my favourite songs I've ever written, I think.
As I said to Jim, we were listening to it, and he was impressed by my quote. I said, "It's like listening to the soundtrack of my teenage years."
Oh, good on you. Thank you very much.
It also passes the car test and the walking test, this album.
Right.
So just when you're driving around, it works very well.
Ah, thank you very much. You should write my biog.
Well, yeah, we should.
The only negative I could probably say about the album is the cover photograph looks like the wall that you're standing in front of. That looks like the basement in the Queen Vic.
It does look
where
like
people have been buried under the floor.
Right. It's actually a fake wall. Believe it or not, that is a fake wall. I had an idea for the cover, which and we had to get fake. They're not real bricks. I'm sorry about that, but the cover, yeah. Okay, so you can edit this bit out. Somebody said to me, "What are you doing on the cover, looking like a angry?" And I said, "Well, it was the kind of thing I was going for. And saxophones and is where it's at."
If you can guess the bit that was beeped that Noel said, what it was called, you can win a Strawberry Lamp Clock Cuddle Mug.
Well, it's better than looking like a happy...
Well, indeed, which is what most look like, is it not? Particularly on a Sunday morning, no?
The photographer's like, come on, give me more anger.
Of course they're happy. They don't pay tax. For the first 4 bars, I think it's a nod to yourself as well, in that it sounds a little bit like the start of Master Plan.
Indeed, yeah. I mean, I don't, listen, when I'm making records, I don't really overthink things like that too much, because I think you're not really following your instincts, and I just, a great song is a great song is a great song, and that's it really. But yeah, there's a lot of nods to my influences on everything that I've ever done, I think.
Well, but the right stuff, that sounds a little French, doesn't it? There's a little bonjour, Mr. Gallagher going on there.
Indeed, yeah. I guess that if somebody, that's about as far removed as Supersonic as you're going to get. I would have liked to. It was the one track that when I was recording, I was thinking, I would like to be in Oasis just to run this by Liam.
Right.
That would be an interesting afternoon. He's playing Liam the demo for that.
But could you not just play it to him down the phone?
Oh no, but me saying to him, you have to sing this.
Right.
Oh.
It would rile him.
What does he think of it? Has he heard it?
He'd probably secret. No, I don't know. I don't think he wouldn't have heard it yet.
He's probably filling out the reviews on the stream.
He probably would secret. Oh, we'll find out soon enough through his Twitter account, I would have thought. So,
Is that how you communicate these days?
I'm not on Twitter, but that's how he communicates with the outside world out there.
Right.
Yeah.
I read recently that, quite recently, in fact, you said that the only reason you'll be getting back as Oasis is for the money.
Yeah.
Is it that much of a commodity to you these days?
No, but it's the only reason I do it. What would I do it for?
For pleasure.
For all the fans, to make the fans happy.
I get enough pleasure in my life without looking back too much. But if somebody was to offer me a ridiculous amount of money, I would go, well, maybe then. And creatively, as you've been finding out, sitting by the river with your little fishing rods, I don't creatively, I don't need it.
No.
Professionally, I don't need it. Financially, I don't need it. But you never look a gift horse in the mouth, particularly if it's got $500 million in it.
In our fishing, if our fishing tackle bag has a blank check, I mean, are we talking
$500 million?
Do we have
blank
to write?
Check. Now that's my kind of money is the blank check.
It'll probably bounce.
Fill it in yourself.
So it's not ruled out. That's the main thing.
Well, no, you can never rule anything out because you never know what might. I mean, they might have an amazing change of heart in 5 years' time. I don't know, but if somebody now, I don't see it. But if somebody was to walk in here with a hold-all full of, $1,000 bills, and there'd be like $250 million of them, I would probably say, you know what, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah. When we meet people, the number one question we always get asked is, what time do we get up at? Is that the question that you are really sick of getting asked, by the way, the one we just asked?
What time do you get up at?
No.
In a roundabout way, didn't we? We didn't even ask them straight out. We didn't have the guts to straight out ask
Does it ever get annoying?
No. My wife always says that to me after she's come back from the school run. What time did you get up? I don't know, 9:45 or something, early, I do get asked in every interview, so that I wouldn't feel too bad about it if I was you.
Okay. Now we want to ask you about Ed Sheeran, Noel. Now,
yeah.
Is it true that he texted you and sent you to send you tickets?
Yeah, we're friends, right? And that whole thing come about. I was bemoaning the state of rock music now, and how these pop stars now, and his name inadvertently got dragged into it, right? And
because it's worse than him,
oh God, James Blunt, me. So his name I inadvertently got dragged into it, but no, we have each other's number because when I was doing curating the Teenage Cancer Trust thing, I got him to do the gigs for me. And I will say this about him: when you do things like that, you kind of call artists up regularly. You kind of always fob you off by saying, "No, I can't do it this year, but call me next year. I'll definitely do it." He did that to me one year, and he's the only artist in my entire experience of working with the TCT that's ever called me back and said, "You know what? I'm ready to do it now." And he was true to his word, and he's a good lad, and all that. But he texted me and said, I think he asked me to get up with him at Wembley. That's like, you cheeky and, but I said, my daughter will come, and she'll have a massive High Flying Birds banner, so,
Would you go with her?
Oh, I'm not going.
No.
Good Lord, no. Heavens above. No. I'll be quaffing champagne with Bono in the south of France.
All right, okay.
You did mention the last time we spoke to you that your daughter's a big fan of One Direction, so I presume if you do slag off Ed Sheeran, does she kick your arse, or?
I guess she gets mildly embarrassed, but, all dads are supposed to mildly embarrass their teenage daughters, aren't they?
Yeah, but if you can bring her to Wembley and say, hey, here's a...
Oh, she's going... Oh, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. She'll be in a box.
I mean, I presume when your dad is Noel Gallagher, it's backstage passes all the way.
Absolutely. She'll be there with a bottle of Iron Brew. Having it.
Vintage Iron Brew.
You were seen recently with a bottle of beer in your hand. Is it true that some beer company offered you a lifetime supply?
Yes. No, we were up in Scotland at the weekend. It's a friend of ours. It was her 40th birthday, and we went. I mean, why we went to Scotland is beyond me because nobody in there apart from my wife is Scottish, and they were serving Tennent's behind the bar, and I did manage to get my photograph taken with a pint of Tennent's at some ridiculous hour, but Tennent's have offered me a lifetime supply, and hotline should it ever run out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who's at the end of the hotline, I wonder?
It'll be some guy in an Oasis t-shirt who's just waiting for the phone to ring, me to just do a big burp and say, that was the last of it.
So
you send some more over.
Are you going to say yes to this offer, or if you don't want it, can we have it?
No, I'm having it.
You're having it.
Tenants.
I'm having it. Yeah, it's not as good as the Guinness, but it's all right. Let me tell you.
Particularly
when it's free for life.
So what happens in this kind of downtime? Album's done. You're waiting for the release. Is it just interview after interview, or
no? I'm rehearsing. I'm rehearsing 5 days a week, and then the weekends I don't do nothing. One of my kids have had chickenpox at the minute, so we're in a bit of a sick house, like a World War I hospital at the minute.
Did you have that as a young boy? Did you have chickenpox yourself? Were you immune?
I didn't get it until I was a teenager.
Right.
So I got the adult strain, which was called Shingles.
Yeah, you can get that a few times, can't you?
Oh.
I bet you don't get asked this in interviews too often.
I don't too often, no, particularly not by Japanese. They wouldn't know what a shingle was, would they? I think it was, so tell me about your new shingle.
Who plays guitar that solos? That's you and Riverman?
I am going to say yes, but in all honesty, no.
All right. It sounds like Carlos Santana. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's no loss Santana. It's the engineer who engineered the record, who just happens to be a fantastic guitarist, and it got to the guitar break, and what I was playing I didn't like, I hated it, and he said, well, what kind of things what are you hearing? And I was just hearing, something astonishing, and we kind of worked it out together, and he's a better guitarist than I am, so
Did he volunteer to do it, or?
He didn't volunteer initially, no. I made him do it. Yeah. And I would have him on tour with me doing it, but unfortunately, he looks like a I can't have him. And you can beep that bit too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think we will, yeah. It went from Carlos Santana to in one easy move.
Noel Gallagher is an equal opportunities employer.
This whole interview is going to have a lot of bleeps, actually. Well, the album is absolutely brilliant, and we're not just blowing smoke up whatever it is. What is that expression? Blowing up
Jaxie?
Blowing up smoke up the outlet.
Yeah, it really is. It's fantastic, and really looking forward to seeing it live in the 3 Arena.
Thank you very much. Good luck to the people who are entering the competition for the soundcheck party. My soundcheck parties are legendary for their indifference towards the people who are there.
Do you acknowledge them at all? No?
Well, whoever wins, when they come and watch a band soundcheck, there's just one rule. Don't clap after the songs, because it's quite pathetic when you're in an arena that holds 11,000 people and there's 3 people clapping.
Right, okay.
Just like, well, thanks very much.
Should they nod?
No, they should just keep out of the way, and at the end, just go, "Where's Liam?" Whatever everyone else always does.
Is that your number one heckle? Yeah.
I get it on the I get the tube most days to where I rehearse, and I kind of usually get away with it. But one of the things that happens quite regularly is some guy will look down the carriage and see you, and they see you and go, "Liam, Liam," and you're kind of sitting there messing with your phone, thinking, "Do I acknowledge it? I have to acknowledge it, because he obviously has got there's a case of mistaken identity, and I have to kind of look over and give him a fist bump and go, all right."
You see, if you got yourself driving lessons, I know we've been here before, then you wouldn't have to put up with that.
Yeah, but every time I think to myself, right, the next time I get a few weeks off, I'm gonna do it. Something always happens to me in the back of a taxi where I think, I would have killed that bloke just there. I would have got out and I would have smashed his car with a sledgehammer. So I'm thinking it's probably like the Twitter account, which I'll never open. It's probably best left unused. You know what I mean? There's no need.
I can tweet something for you now if you want. If you want to say something to me, I'll tweet it on your behalf.
You tweet it on my behalf?
Yeah. A message from Noel. He says,
what I would say to the people of Ireland is this. Ray, what am I going to say to the people of Ireland? Ray's from Ireland. What am I going to say to the people of Ireland? What's yours? Young people of Ireland, I love you. Yes. Yes. Do I say what the Pope said?
Pope John Paul, yeah, 1979. Yeah. He said, young people of Ireland, I love you. Brilliant. It went down a storm for him, so I'm sure that'll do very well on Twitter for you. Yes, buy my new rosary beads. Thanks, Noel.
Thank you.
That's brilliant.
Fair play to you.
See you soon.
See you soon. Thanks a million.
Bye.
That's great.
Bye-bye.
The Strawberry Alarm Clock on FM 104.